Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, man, we back around the water cooler tonight, and we got a lively one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This one is gonna be good. We still trying to collect all of these Infinity Stones for Auburn so they can wield the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into it tonight because we're talking about what I consider to be the strongest one of them all, the Mind Stone. Eugene Asante, bring us in.
Boys and girls of all ages, you're tuned into the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the biggest podcast in the world. Yeah.
You are now tuned in to Water Cooler Talks, covering everything you love about college football, especially everything going down in the SEC conference. So, if you love college football, you need to lock in. And now, your hosts, Nick Frazier and Marcus Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, boy, we back around the water cooler, man. We thank y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler. As always, my name is Nick Frazier, one half of the Water Cooler Talk podcast, the coolest podcast in your ear, Water Cooler Talk Sports. We thank y'all so much. Tonight, around the water coolers with tonight, everybody from at its SE season. Am I saying it right, Tez?
Yeah, you got it, man.
Okay, all right, there we go. Auburn Tez is around the water cooler with us tonight, man. Tez, how you feeling tonight, man? How you feeling, man?
Feeling pretty good, man. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing great. We're doing great. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the one, the only, from Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast, the one, the only, Tight. What up, Tight? How you feeling, Tight?
Rose out there, everybody out there. Ski, Auburn Nation.
Man, right. Yo, man. Boy, it's about to be a good one tonight, ladies and gentlemen, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us, man. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. On Twitter, if you have Twitter, follow us on Twitter at CoolerSpod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button on YouTube here so you know when we post more videos and go live. We are trying to get to that 700 subscriber mark. Got a little ways to go, but we gonna get there eventually, man. And of course, make sure you follow Tez at its SE season on YouTube, and then go follow Tight at Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast.
I see what you did there, Tez. When it all fall apart, you still got something to cover.
Exactly.
I started to do it. I said I'm gonna stay faithful. So please, save my channel.
Oh man, I feel you, Tight. I feel you, man. Let's get to the comments. Auburn Dad in the chat. He's saying, War Eagle, what's up, Auburn Dad? How are you feeling, man? I hope you're doing all right, my guy. He said, War Eagle, Nick, Tez, and AB. He said, and hello, Tight. What he said.
Hello, Tight.
Hi.
And he said, by the way, Tight, this is a safe place. We'll protect you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think at all. I think there's protection. See, sometimes you gotta pay. You gotta pay for the sins of the father. Now I don't know what that means in this case, but yeah, it happens.
It's gonna be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? This is my favorite part of the show. We get to hear JT's quote of the day because guess what? It is time for JT's quote of the day.
Yeah. It's time for JT's quote of the day. The quote of the day from JT. JT has the quote of the day for you and me. What is the quote? We want the quote. We need to know the quote. So what is the quote? So quote. It's time for JT's quote of the day. So JT, what is the quote today?
JT, what is the quote today, JT? JT's quote today comes from actually the Marvel Universe. He says, you, Vision, are the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me. I guess she was talking about that when Vision was getting ready to sacrifice himself. When Thanos was getting ready to take that Mind Stone out of his head and decommission Vision. But hey,
cold-blooded.
Shout out to JT. And then JT comes back with the same says, I have never watched no Avengers or superhero movie ever. Wow.
Really?
Wow.
You
Yeah.
missing out.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell him, man. You missing out on it, man. You missing out on it.
We'll be watching like Driving Miss Daisy and Still Magnolia because I don't even know what's left.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, man. I ain't gonna say I just discovered it, but I just gave Tubi a chance, and it's actually pretty good.
No, it's not bad.
Tubi is actually pretty decent, man.
I have a frat brother with like 4 movies out there that he's acted in, and I started watching one,
Mm-hmm.
and then his phone rang. So I'm gonna finish it though. That was last year.
I mean, they got some stuff on there that I can watch, and I'm like, okay, this cool. It's cool. The only thing I think I've seen only one Tubi original. That's it.
I did. I did. No, I've watched an Tubi original, and even going through, I was like, man, it's gonna be really bad. I kept saying it's gonna be really bad, and it was actually pretty good. Because it was started. I was like, it's because you know how you normally when you're watching TV show, you don't pay attention to no woman's shoes unless she's really attractive. But when they raggedy, right? So I'm like, obviously she wore those shoes to work that day when they were shooting this. So I'm like, I said, but I'm gonna look past it. I'm gonna look past it.
Oh,
you know?
man.
Oh, it's funny, man.
It's funny right now.
I mean, they got more costume design on a country skit sometimes, but like country playing with them now. But if you go way back, you know, you're like, hey, it's a skit. But when you're on Tubi, you got a whole 90 minutes. You like,
what's the budget?
Can that seems is ripping in them jeans?
One of my favorite documentaries is on Tubi.
Really?
It's called Tread. Check it out.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm taking a look at that.
It actually was on Netflix at first, and then they took it off, and that's like the only place I can find it to watch it.
Tread. Okay.
Yeah, Tread. Just check it out.
I think my son was telling me about that.
John Crane come in with the comment. We're gonna go back a little bit because we talked about the Soul Stone last night. So let's recap that. He said, what would you all sacrifice to gain the Soul Stone, aka an Auburn title? He said, I sacrifice my ex, no hesitation.
These are jokes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, it's not Tubi, it's Tubi.
Tubi, yeah. Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. Tubi is what it is. And it's free. Like the way they keep it free is because like if you watch the movie, like the commercials will come in the movie. Like no skips at all. So, and it's all free. All free. So
didn't they have what did they broadcast? What sporting event was that? Was that the Super Bowl?
Yep, they did.
It's like a ton of people watched the Super Bowl on Tubi.
You know who owns Tubi, right?
Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox owns Tubi. Yeah.
Pause.
Excuse me. Jermaine Mims. Tight, you need another Bama person up there with you, man. It's 2-on-1. Man, come on, man.
Pause, man. Pause.
Come on, bro.
I said pause.
All right. Let's recap, man, before we get into the show. Okay, so this week, as you all know, we've been doing this series of shows where we have been trying to understand how can we capture all of the Infinity Stones for Auburn to make Auburn a dominant team in this next decade and beyond. First night, on Monday night, we talked about the space and the time stone. We talked about where does Auburn fit in this landscape space of college football. And we also talked about, is it time? Is this the time for Auburn to take the next step to become great? As we talked about there. Tuesday, we talked about the reality stone. We talked about what is the reality of Auburn football currently, and what would the reality look like in the next 3 years for Auburn? Yesterday, as you can tell, John came on and said we talked about the Soul Stone. What is it? What is the sacrifice that Auburn needs to make in order to become that premier elite type team in college football? And tonight, we're gonna go into the mind of Auburn football, and we got the ops in here, the Alabama fan Type Sports. We want to get his perspective on this from an ops. We're gonna go into the mind of Auburn football, and we're gonna ask the question. We're gonna have some other stuff that go into it. We're gonna ask if the Mind Stone controlled Auburn football, what would you want it to show? Because here's what the Mind Stone, this is what the Mind Stone tells you. It can control the minds of others. It can control what a person does. It created vision. If you watch the movies, it created vision. And vision was probably one of the more powerful, you can call him an Avenger, one of the more powerful Avengers there were in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe. Wanda had a whole series about, she created a whole village that was just made up out of her mind and had people doing that. So she was able to manipulate everything around her to make people feel and think differently and see things differently. You can access the thoughts and dreams of other people, of other beings. And then it also says that if it's paired with the Power Stone, it can access the minds of everybody in the universe simultaneously. So tonight, I'm gonna ask the question. We got Auburn fan, we got Auburn Tez, and we got Tight Sports Alabama Football Megacast. I'm kind of in the middle because I'm everybody know I'm an Auburn fan, but I kind of want to get these perspectives on here. I'm gonna ask this. If you had the mind stone, Tez, if you had it right now, how would you use it to control college football to bend towards Auburn's will? Go ahead, Tez.
It's gonna be real simple for me. I'm just gonna go inside the thoughts and dreams when Hugh Daniel Freeze, I don't know if that's his middle name, I just made that up. And I tell him, and I show him visions of him running the ball on 3rd and 1 over and over and over again. And I think we'll be all right. I think actually that'll solve 75% of our problems right there. I think just that alone, I would show him situational play calling, time management, clock management. I would show him Tom Brady film in the last 2 minutes of how to manage a game and get out of there with a win.
Okay.
That's about it. I think everybody else, I think we do that. We get the wins, and then everybody else they'll come along with the wins. But yeah, that's what I do, man.
Okay, all right. Tight.
I make him dream about running the ball on 3rd and 1.
What is your rebuttal to that, Tight? Or if you have one?
Well, I wouldn't rebut that because I mean it does start in the mind of your coach. But let me ask a question: to have the Mind Stone, do you have to have the Power Stone first? Is that the last one?
Nah, it don't. You can get. I don't think that's a specific order you got to get them in.
Okay, because I'm wondering if you had that stone, could you convince somebody to put Toomer's Corner close to the stadium? Because I think y'all mind be way out there when the game's going. Like, well, I want to get out. So people got their mind outside of the stadium.
Okay.
And see, instead of being like, okay, we just got to go outside, we can keep focus right here. I think y'all lose focus because they be thinking about going. What is that about? Is that a half mile? 2/3 of a mile away. Yeah, see, put that thing right up under them pictures. Put both of them right there. Move the whole thing. You get a lemonade stand, the food truck, Toomer's lemonade, and then you got that. That's one thing I would do. That's just my suggestion from the outside looking in. And the other thing I would do, I would go into all y'all minds.
Okay.
And have y'all to think about, Alabama.
Oh my God.
Like don't see us as this.
That's not gonna work.
Don't see us as this huge titan of college athletics. Look at it. Just go. I mean, if I could we're talking about, you'll look over there and be like, man, I don't know who's tougher, UTC or Alabama. Wow. And be serious about it.
No.
Mindset. Don't make it look like a hurdle, because it's too many people that be discussing Alabama. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. That's what I'm here to give you. It's too much Alabama in some people's brains.
So is that not warranted?
That's a wrong stone, Type.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just a wrong stone. Hey man, I'm in my 50s.
What rocks are you talking about? Right, rocks.
I mean,
go ahead, Type. Go ahead.
But I'm saying it's a mentality in that, I don't want people to say like, we win this game, we overcome something. No, because the goal is at the end of the end.
Okay.
It's all over when it's over. I mean, you have to know that, oh, we win the Iron Bowl and that's it. Our season kind of still suck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna call my man out. I ain't gonna call nobody name, but DC be like, man, we're gonna roll y'all. I'm like, but dude, but you already like, you'll still be under 500 if you win the game.
Wait. So wait. So are you saying? So are you basing this off of Auburn is what?
I'm just saying. No. You asked me if you had the Mind Stone, because I had to read up on it. If I got the Mind Stone, meaning I can control the thoughts.
Yeah.
If I am the athletic director and I can control the thoughts of all the people control the Auburn with the Power Stone, give me a little boost there. So millions and millions of Auburn fans, I would just say, when you see Alabama, just think of it like UAB or Alabama A&M and just keep on going. Like it doesn't make you turn your head. It don't make you just go crazy. Like, okay, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I mean, I'm like, oh God, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Yeah, you just literally said you're a Dallas Cowboy.
Right. Wow. You see, that's how ridiculous it is. But when I see a Cowboy, I gotta give him a shot. It's just in us. I'm not saying it's even possible, but just forget all that. Forget what's happening everywhere. You know what I mean? Forget it all. And just focus on execution. What's wrong with that?
So basically you saying if you had the Mind Stone, you would basically tell all Auburn players, coaches, fans is that they should live up to a standard and not live up to a potential opponent. Is what you're telling them.
Yeah, set your own sights on, like, man, if we ain't 13-0 at the end of this season, something wrong. And not because Georgia came in or LSU did us dirty. No. It's just you setting your own stone. You're not comparing yourself to anybody. You're setting your own tone for the whole season, and you're not bothered by, okay, Troy State is in the SEC. Who cares? You know what I mean? We're not, because we could all, that's a possibility these days. One of these teams could be in the SEC. So what we're going to do, just sit in the state and just have a three-way standoff. No, it don't even matter, because there have been more seasons where teams outside of the state has dominated than, Alabama has won SEC championships, because it was 100 years of SEC. Alabama got a couple of dozen of SEC championships. So, I mean, there's a lot more out there than Alabama. Like the great mighty power, the vicious men of Vanderbilt. Did you see what they did to us? Oh or what Oklahoma can do to you at any moment. I mean, we don't even know what Oklahoma may do. And then you got the people up there with the snagger-tooth people up there in volunteer country. They always rowdy. I show you. You sure got a pretty mouth. That's all they be saying the whole game. You sure got a pretty mouth. I'm like, what? Hey man. Hey man, so it's a lot. So I'm saying it's a lot more out there. So like, yeah, it's fun. And because I would be telling Alabama the same thing.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be telling Alabama the same thing. I'll be like, look, man, I don't want to hear nothing about these, because people do hit Caleb DeBoer on the in-state recruits thing. I'm like, but we worried about in-state recruits, and we lost to Oklahoma like a bunch of suckers, worried about, people worried about Saban coming back. I'm like, yeah, but this dude right here, he need all your focus because he's actually the coach, So it's just get focused on inward. You know what I mean? Keep your focus inside of the program. 100% of the time, I guarantee you, anybody will have a better outcome.
I'm gonna ask you this question. I want to get both of y'all thoughts on this, because I mean, one thing we do not do is we do not bash. We don't bash people on the show. We criticize what we see on the field every Saturday, and what is said to us during the week. So I'm gonna ask you this. You got the Mind Stone. You still got the Mind Stone. You got the Mind Stone. You got it in the gauntlet, and now you can control it. What would you do if you can go inside Coach Hugh Freeze's mind and figure out what he's thinking? If you had the Mind Stone, you can go in his mind and figure out what it is that he's thinking. What do you think he's thinking? And would you change it?
I don't know. I think I already answered that.
Yeah, he did kind of answer.
You kind of did answer it, though.
Yeah, I mean,
You kind of did answer.
So to further expound, what are you thinking on 3rd and 1 when you go 5 wide?
Or I ask you this: if you called a play on 4th and 2 and your quarterback starts to audible out of it, why don't you call a timeout to get the correct play that you want to run?
Yeah. What are you thinking in those moments? And and that's scary because you might find out he's thinking about some things he doesn't need to be thinking about during the football game.
But also with the Mind Stone, you can make him think about what you want him to think about. So basically, you can control him. You can create a reality around him to where he sees what you see. So basically, in that moment, guess what? You the head coach.
Okay. Yeah, I see the plays where we turn around and hand the ball off to the running back.
Okay.
But the funny thing about it is like I feel like he's pretty transparent. I don't know if there's anything in there that we would find out specifically about the team. Like everything he said about those guys came true since he's been there. Like he's been nothing but honest about the time he's needed, which position groups needed help, what they were capable on the field, what fan expectations should be. Even though we were all 9-10 games last year, he was pretty honest in saying like, I don't think this is it this year. Quarterbacks throwing the ball to the other team. He spoke honestly about that. He's been so honest. He's been honest so much so to a fault to where people think that he's throwing the team under the bus. For diagramming exactly what happens on the field. So yeah, it'll almost be useless in that regard to try to figure out what he's thinking because he tells you. It's just that we as fans, we want the team to be better than what he's saying. So like we totally ignore the fact that he said that we didn't have nobody that could catch the ball at first, that our offensive line was struggling at first. We totally ignored that we didn't have any quarterback that could throw the ball. Like we totally ignored him saying all those things. We got our hopes up. And then when it came true, nobody's giving him credit. Like, oh man, he told us this.
Here's my rebuttal to that. Here's where people that come in when you say that, and there are people that do say that because I've been on record saying that the reason why I think they will win this year is not because of his coaching, his superior coaching ability and all this stuff. I think it's because of the fact that the talent that's around is so much more superior that it's going to cover up for some deficiencies more than likely. That's the reason why I feel like Auburn's going to win. I feel like Auburn's going to win off the rip just on strength talent a lot this year. There may be one, maybe one. You may see 2 games where you may see a coaching call where you'd be like, that was a great call. That was a great way you set that up was great. But I honestly believe off rip that it's really going to be about talent because all we've heard about, the overarching thing that we've heard about from Coach Hugh Freeze since he's gotten on the Plains was we need talent. Now,
right.
In 20, that's not. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that you do need talent to win. But here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna sit here and say that the 20. Well, his first year was 20. He got here in 22. 23 was probably interesting year. 24 could have won at 24. He could have won. We could have won some games at 24. I mean, we're not gonna say it like the defense played with a lot of younger freshmen, a lot of younger guys on the defensive side and played very well. The offense had some talented, had talent. We had talent at running back. We had a pretty decent offensive line, except for the left tackle position. We had almost 1,000-yard wide receiver. Quarterback, all he had to do was play pitch and catch. I mean, however you feel about Peyton Thorne. But the thing is, this is where it comes into play of saying, if you are a coach, if you are good at coaching, this is where you tailor your scheme to what you have on the field. And I feel as if that is the gripe that a lot of fans have, because you've seen, and tight. I'm about to say something, but you've seen Alabama teams. It's not even just Alabama teams. You've seen this Vanderbilt team this past year that clearly was clearly top to bottom on roster wise, not as talented as Auburn, and come in and beat Auburn
off
of a bye
Right.
week. You see what I'm
they
saying?
do. Just do what you do.
I'm pretty sure what I'm saying is what people are saying, what people are noticing. And then also Arkansas. You look at Arkansas, you're not gonna sit here and say as a passer, Taylor Green was better than Peyton Thorne. If you look, you're not gonna say that. Athletically wise, running the ball, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you would say that Arkansas from top to bottom was a more talented team than Auburn last year. So what is the common denominator there? Like, are you trying to tailor it around what you have, or are you just saying we need more talent so they can just do what I want to do? I think that's the difference between average coaching and then just the guys that are just on the elite level.
Right.
What are y'all thoughts on that?
Well, I think sometimes if you have, I say this, you guys running game. I wonder what is that running back's name? Because I'm thinking right now, like, what if he has a 2,000-yard season like in the next 3 years?
That ain't gonna happen.
DeMar Austin? No, I don't think so.
No, I'm talking about the one that left the team. You
talking about Jeremiah? I mean, Jarquez Hunter. If that happens, then a lot of people are going to be upset
because that's a possibility depending on where he gets picked up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That dude.
That's true.
That dude right there. I mean, I'm just saying it's far-fetched to get, but somebody's getting it. What if somebody like 3 years from now, it's like, oh yeah, you can get Saquon, you get Jarquez, and y'all be like, I mean, sometimes I wonder, like, it don't even have to be
2,000 though. Tight, he can run for 1,200 in the NFL. It's gonna have the same effect.
Yeah,
you got to be 2,000.
And I don't know, because see, I'm a big believer in like kind of, well, based on what I've seen, player development. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 2011, 2012. I mean, Alabama could pick up players with their eyes closed, right? Because the best of the best was at the top. But it was something that happened between 08 and 10 that somebody was a hypochondriac and worked a lot to just work to get what they wanted to have. And that's why we talk about our offensive coordinator now. He's talking about he want to be able to, have a flexible line that can run and pass, whatever, when he wants to, but he chooses to run. He wants to be able to say, we're going to run because we feel like it. Mm-hmm. And I thought you guys were right there. So if I had to put something in his mind outside of get well soon, Coach Freeze, other than healing, we put that out to the side. You have to say, like, I want to dominate the time of possession by running the ball and keep my defense fresh. Because, see, all that passing stuff gonna happen. People throw a lot of yards, Matt Ryan, and don't win nothing. But with you guys and everybody, but if you can you dominate SEC games and these big games, even Ohio State, they dominating on the ground, time of possession, keep defense fresh, and Big Ten don't really have a lot of people that can challenge them. But I think that's just the key to college football. And pros get a little more dynamic and stuff like that. But even like Belichick with the great GOAT, cheating aside, allegations, whatever, allegedly, they still had a dynamic running game all the time. So I would just put it in his mind, like, hey man, dominate time possession, keep your defense fresh, run the ball. Be able to run the ball when you feel like it. Don't get crazy and go 3rd and 13, but don't be afraid to run on first down because you're about to pick up 5. You about to pick up, we're gonna get 5 on first down. And when we get to 2nd and 5 or 4, oh my goodness. They're gonna have to back up and wait. They're gonna have to give us a split second every second down.
I got you.
Every second down, they're gonna give us a split second. You can do what you want to do. You can go into a freaky place of play calling, and he could call any play he wanted to in 2nd and 4.
I gotta be
if it worked, it worked. I'm just saying because his name is Freed. My name, whatever.
I thought no, okay, no, go ahead. We
but just he can go to the wildest play in his playbook because he knows he's sitting on 2nd and you got 3rd down to do something, and maybe even got 4th down. So I think that's what I would suggest really anybody to play that over and over in your mind. I'm reminded by a friend of mine that played at Kendrick High School, or a couple of friends of mine played down there, and they was like, that Coach Buzz Busby, he snatched people out the game like, Coach, why you take me out? Because I don't hear your voice calling the play out. This man will call, he made his offensive line, he made his offense call the play out at practice and during games. That man is retired now with 6 state championships in 2 different states. Because they were going to dominate on the ground. It's coming. Yeah, we're going to run it over there. We're going wide. But they're going to tactically take you out and get those 5 yards. Line it up and do it again and again and again. And like can you imagine a high school game? They were like, they used numbers back in ancient years. Yeah, they come up they're like 3 hole, man, 3 hole. Because for the first half, the defense think you playing until they down by 13 and their offense hadn't been on the field. I mean, it's the most amazing. Matter of fact, when my boys first told me that story, it opened my mind up so I'm down at the elementary school playing Madden. I'm like, I'm gonna run it right 2-0 because it's open my. You can't stop it. Depending on who I'm running. This back in the days, people when Merrill Harge was the main way I could make money playing Madden back in the day. You couldn't stop Merrill Harge for 4 yards. You just couldn't do it. I don't know why. It was a glitch, but you couldn't do it.
All right, Ted, what you got?
Man, I mean, I don't blame the guy, bro. Like, he's okay. He did say that he needed more talent. He does preach talent, right?
A lot.
The only reason why I can't blame him is because the first person I heard that from was Hugh Freeze. When he got here, he said it's gonna take me 3 years to turn this roster over. It's gonna take me 3 recruiting classes.
Okay.
To turn this roster over to his liking. I mean, sure, there are coaches that adjust what they do to the personnel. Those coaches are few and far in between. There's more coaches. There are more coaches that have a system and they want to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't look like it. We brought up Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah.
When they got Diego Pavia, and when they got Jerry Keel in there, Clark Lee said, hey, we are going to do this.
Right.
They weren't adapting to their personnel. That was very purposeful, the offense that they ran.
Right.
And it was a lot like what Tite said, hey, we want to get 4 yards to carry.
Yeah.
Only pushback to that is you're going to find yourself in a lot of close games because teams score too fast. So, if you look at the Alabama game, Vanderbilt did control the time of possession, but Alabama was, when they did score, they were scoring so fast.
Right.
That you're going to find yourself in that's why teams kind of went away from that style of football, is because teams started scoring so fast. It's like, if I put up 21 points, 28 points in the first half, and then now you want to try to sit on the ball and control the ball, it's like, it doesn't really work that well. But, to Hugh Freeze, I think he's just getting players talent that fits in what he wants to do. And apparently what he wants to do is throw the ball down the field.
Oh, yeah, that's about to happen all day. That's about to happen all day.
Yeah, so if you think about, I want everybody think about how this roster came together, right? The entire process of how we got to this moment with all the talent that we have now. You came in 10 offensive linemen right off the rip. Some of them play, some of them don't. But I need 10 just to see if I could get some offensive line play. Let's address that. We need pass catchers now. Flip the entire offense, flip the entire receiving room, right? At a time after a season where he felt like he couldn't pass the ball, so he didn't. Only thing he did was run. Come in, flip the quarterback room. After a season where he felt like quarterbacks can't throw the ball to their own team, right? The decision not to get a Cam Ward or not to get think about what happens if we spend that money on a quarterback right now. Last year. that everybody was crying for Cam Ward. He should have got a Porter quarterback and all that. And he said he wanted to spend the money on putting pieces around a solid quarterback, putting more pieces around it. Think about what our roster looks like now with a new quarterback and whatever $150 million, $1.5 million, whatever sacrifices we had to make to get a Cam Ward who's now going to the NFL. Think about where we be sitting right now. May not be able to get a Jackson Arnold out of the transfer portal at that point. Our quarterback we maybe have to go get a Peyton Thorne again. You know what I'm saying? So like everything that he said is kind of coming to fruition. He's got to win. The only thing that that could derail this plan is him not winning. In fact, that's the only thing that's why we have questions about it now. 2 more games last year. We win 7 games last year. Some of these questions we don't have. It's just that it looks so bad at times that we have these questions.
That's interesting, Ted. That's interesting. All right. So you say if we go out and get a Cam Ward last year or a Cam Ward S player to play quarterback, does that Cam Ward X player gives Auburn, does that net Auburn 2 to 3 more wins?
I don't know. With last year's roster.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, let's be real. You got
maybe a win or 2, but like the situational play calling will mitigate anything that a quarterback could have brought to the table.
And here's my point. The reason why he speaks talent so much is because we will all agree talent-wise, Cam Ward is more talented than Peyton Thorne. I would say that.
No, that is just true. Very, very true.
So would Cam Ward, would he have covered up some of those deficiencies at the quarterback position and would have made a play that Peyton Thorne would not have made?
He probably would have.
Okay. So let's take 2 examples. Let's take the Oklahoma game.
Okay.
In that game, where Peyton Thorne threw the critical interception.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Right.
Do you think Cam Ward pulls that down and runs against the first down?
Yeah, he probably just run.
Okay. Now
you probably call a run if you got Cam Ward.
Exactly.
You probably don't even call that.
Well, Hugh Freeze, you probably throw the ball. No, Hugh Freeze. Throw the ball. All right. Now let's look at Georgia. First play of the fourth quarter, 4th and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, if we in that situation, do you think Peyton Thorne changes? Do you think Cam Ward changes that play, or allegedly, we'll say, I'm gonna put it like that in quotation marks, allegedly changes the play in order to get a first down, or does Cam Ward go with what the coach called?
I don't know. He probably.
Why are you doing your Cam Ward thing? There was something with Cam Ward, like every 18 to 21 quarters, Cam Ward for 2 quarters would be like
average.
Like, why is this guy here? And I don't, they never could explain like what is happening. It's like he would regress into just regress for some reason, and they end up losing a game or 2 because of it. But it's just weird.
So basically, every 5 games.
Yeah, he would just
he would retreat. He would regress into something. We'd be like, what it is. Okay.
Right. So he looks like worse. Well, I'm gonna say worse. He looks like Peyton Thorne to me. Seemed like he was always trying. Where sometimes I would look at Cam and be like, "Hey man, like the guy's open. Like what was that? Like all this accuracy. Then he's just missing. He's missing. He takes a sack. It was unexplained. So everything wouldn't be perfect. So 1 or 2 games, I think possibly, but you have to throw in that Cam did have some flaws.
So let's say he does get 2 games. That's 7 games.
Right.
That's 7 games in the regular season with a chance to win 8 in a bowl game. That's
very true.
That's an improvement.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
That's improvement. So basically, we're sitting here saying that the talent at quarterback, the talent of that talent that he's talking about,
right,
would cover up for some deficiencies that probably would have happened either with coaching or with just situational game management.
It probably would have.
Okay.
The Arkansas game was pretty close, right? Was it Arkansas?
Arkansas was close.
Here's the thing, though. Our team looks drastically different because if we spend our budget on a Cam Ward, we may not have the money. We may not have the well, I'm gonna say the money, but the money that they want to spend on the top 5 recruiting class. You know, like the pieces may not look the way they look right now.
You think so?
Right now we've managed to focus on putting all the pieces around a quarterback, and now we found 2. I just think and what the defense has, what we were able to do in recruiting on defense last year is like that doesn't happen. like honestly, it doesn't happen.
Okay, hold on. I don't. Okay. So you saying okay? I understand what you're saying. So basically, you're saying if Auburn goes out and goes, and ladies and gentlemen, just know we're trying to get into the mind of
because he's
football and staff. If Auburn goes out and gets a Cam Ward-esque type player to come be the quarterback and have to pay that type of money, you're not going to be able to get a Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons. Is that what you're saying? You won't be able to get these 4.
Cam Coleman probably already. Well,
just so you know, Cam Coleman was already committed.
Yeah. But I'm talking about at the time where it was the decision came to for Cam Ward, because Cam Ward was kind of late in the recruiting process. I think Cam Coleman had already committed to Auburn at that point.
Okay, all right.
But I'm not talking about. I'm not specifically talking about that. I'm talking about this 2015 class. This class that just came in.
The 2024.
Yeah, not the class with Cam Coleman. I'm talking about the class after that, because that's when you would see the deficit.
So this 20. Okay, let's look at the 25 class. So the 25 class, you got guys: Sam Turner, Elijah Melendez, who everybody knows, who I love Elijah Melendez. Everybody knows I love Jordan Crawford. Everybody knows those guys. Jarrett Smith, on the offensive side of the ball, you got Broderick Scholl, who's in his class. Alvin Henderson, who's in his class. Deuce Knight, who was in his class. Right. So basically, you saying having that type of player at the quarterback position and potentially having to pay him that much would have derailed this class.
Yeah,
or you would not be able to get that.
It wouldn't be the same, because like now, think about it. He would be gone right now anyway. That's what I kept saying last year. Is like, this guy's only we're talking about 1 year, right? And we're trying to build a program for the future. He'd be gone right now.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And you're saying that may have won us 2 more games.
It would. It could have won us 2 games with a chance to win a bowl game.
That's what I'm saying. Would you sacrifice that for 2 more games? We were still able to pull in a top 5 recruiting class with winning 5 games. 2 more games. What do we benefit from that? No.
It wasn't top 5. It was top 8.
Top 8.
We probably could have gotten, if that happens. I honestly don't think that Auburn would not have been able to not have a top 3 class.
Okay.
If Auburn wins 8 games last year, Auburn is probably in the run.
Well, you mean 8 with the bowl? Okay.
Yeah, 8 with the bowl.
Okay.
Game. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So basically, if you're looking at that means you probably have maybe one or 2 more 5 stars in that class at some key positions. Because what they're seeing is, and of course the money part is important, but what you're hearing is people, they're seeing it on the field and they're saying, look, I can come be a part of this, and guess what?
That's true.
I can help win. So I honestly, that's why, that's why I feel like even if you didn't get a Cam Ward X type player, or maybe there just wasn't a guy in the portal they felt last year that was an upgrade from Payne Thorne.
They went after Riley Leonard. He went to Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
So there was some pieces that they went after. It just it didn't fall through. It couldn't happen. It's not that they didn't.
Will Riley Leonard have taken Auburn? Will Riley Leonard have won you 7 to 8 games at Auburn last year?
That's a good question.
Let's be real. Riley Leonard at Duke was amazing this past year. Riley Leonard at Notre Dame, we didn't really see him throw the ball for real that much a lot. Now in his pro days and things and stuff like that, we've seen him throw the ball a lot, and we know he can do it. So I'm doing it at the Senior Bowl. There, but this is the question.
I would ask you. I wouldn't have to know what did he run in high school.
What do you mean? And Farrell?
Offense?
Yeah. What type of offense did he run in high school?
Riley was more. Riley, I think Riley was considered a dual threat quarterback in high school.
If he ran an RPO based offense in high school, then I think that he would have thrived with us. I think that's the biggest key to what's happening right now with our quarterback room is that Jackson Arnold. There's no teaching him. This is what he's done his entire since he's been playing quarterback. You just drop him in, like he said. The verbiage has changed, but it's the same exact offense, same plays. Very familiar with Deuce Knight. The same thing. This is why they look so good. Like
he did mention today in the interview. He did mention that he has a little bit more freedom. That he said he feels he has more in his offense, but he did say there were some differences between Lebby and this.
Yeah, probably from the concept was.
Yeah, things that he did say things that Coach Freeze wants to do with what he wants to do with the RPO game are different than what Lebby wanted to do with the RPO game. So
when you don't have to teach a quarterback the concepts, you can get. I expect this offense to look a little bit more complex than it looked last year first game. Because a lot of times first game you get really vanilla because you have a quarterback you're trying to get acclimated with the offense. When you could just drop a guy in, he already knows to the point where he can tell receivers where they need to go. Stuff like that, where he can actually be an extension of you because he knows this. Like you can get into game planning early. In the fall, you got a quarterback that can run things. You can install day one, if you like. So, like, I think that's when you ask me Riley Leonard, I would have to know, like, does he run his RPO offense well? Because that's clearly what he's going after in this quarterback room because both of them run it to the T.
Who is y'all leading quarterback right now? Is it Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson.
It's his job to lose. Yeah,
it's his job to lose. Yeah, this whole narrative about Deuce Knight, and let me preface my comments by saying this that I love Deuce Knight, and I think he's gonna do a lot of great things at Auburn. But the narrative that we're hearing about Deuce Knight is not wrong. I just think it's just more geared towards recruiting. To be honest with you, I think because
what do you mean as far as him being successful?
No. Like him playing very well. Like he's playing very well. Okay, like he's practicing very well. Let's get that clear. But when you hear guys like, and I stated this before, like when you hear people talk about competition, like when I hear the word competition, that means that there's clearly a chance that he can come in and play. Like he can come in and start, like be QB1. I honestly feel like when you hear that word, it kind of gets people riled up. Everything that we hear about Deuce Knight is the truth. He can ball, he can run his offense, he can throw the football, he's perfect. But I think it's more geared towards recruiting for next year. Because if you ask
everybody on keep attention to everybody else, yeah.
They're
doing the same thing with Keelan. They're doing the same thing with Russell. Everybody's talking about, this man's going to do. My whole thing is, I don't think in our situation, I don't want to flush the doggone quarterback room, like
Auburn did.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, you're not the only ones, but it's a lot at stake. You've done a lot.
Hold on, real quick. Okay, King Richard, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. I was thinking about you today, awesome. King Richard. I ain't have a way to get in contact with you. I was thinking about you today, man. When I was talking about it, because I remember you saying you was in Mobile, and I was thinking about you, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to that.
That's awesome, man.
And JT as well, man. Make sure you keep JT and his daughter in your prayers, and also keep Hardbone in your prayers as well, too, man.
Thanks.
My bad, Ted. My bad. Tight. Go ahead.
Oh, that just blew my mind because first thing I think about my wife now. I don't know. What I'm talking about, because that's so much bigger than anything else.
Flushing the quarterback room.
Yeah, we gotta be careful these days flushing any room, really. But I know it's 2 receivers, it's multiple backs, it's linemen and stuff. They may still jump and move, but that quarterback thing, you gotta stack them up. But the problem is when you stack them up, they kind of wobble. It's like they.
Yeah.
Even when of course when Saban retired, was Saban is at Ohio State now. He came there for Nick Saban, but 2 other quarterbacks left, and I think they're starters right now at their schools. So it's like, and would they have taken the place of a Milroe? I don't know. Would they? They left. I can't blame them. You got to take care of yourself. But I mean, if you start a freshman, even if like they say, Ty Simpson doesn't do well and somebody takes over in game 4, I don't necessarily know if you want it to be Keelan. I guess it wouldn't matter at that time. But do you think your Deuce Knight will end up being your number 2?
I would love for him to be the number 2.
Here's the thing, man.
Because you got to start building that quarterback room all the way over again.
Okay. So let's look in the future at this. Let's look in the future at this. So, and this is like the most utopian thing ever. If Jackson Arnold comes out and balls out this year, right?
Right.
And let's ball out. Let's say I got 2 stat lines for Jackson Arnold this year. I got 1 stat line where I think Auburn wins 10 games, and then I got 1 stat line where I think Auburn makes a run in the playoff and he's a Heisman Trophy type contender. Heisman Trophy type contender stat line, 3,900 yards, 38 touchdowns, 65% completion, 11 to 12 interceptions, and he has about 450 yards rushing on the ground. Is where I think he'd be if he's in the Heisman Trophy conversation. He's nearing 4,000 yards passing. If that happens, I think, and based on what the 26 NFL draft class looks like in quarterbacks, I think Jackson Arnold would be a top 5 quarterback in the 26 NFL draft, because you're looking at guys like Garrett Nussmeier, Connor Wegman, Cade Klubnik, Haynes King, Carson Beck, and stuff like that. So, and then of course Miller Moss. So if he comes out and has that type of season, I think he's literally cementing himself as one of the top 5 quarterbacks, especially if he goes to juniors will be able to go to the Senior Bowl. And also if he goes there and has a great postseason, bowl season and stuff like that, I think he can play himself into being one of the top quarterbacks in the 26 draft, which means he's gone.
That's fair.
Then you look at Ashton Daniels coming in, like the most unknown person in this whole quarterback situation is Ashton Daniels, because he's played the most out of all the quarterbacks in the room.
That's very true.
Wow.
He's been a starting quarterback for the past 2 years in Stanford.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
He was the one throwing that in that Colorado game?
Yes, that was him.
He got them weapons around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
that guy had a game. That guy had a night.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's no slouch.
He's no slouch.
Right.
So Ashton Daniels can literally come in
With blocking.
and play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can literally come in and play if need be.
Colorado just owned them that night. He just
here's the point. Yeah, what's the dude? Ayo Manor? Was that the dude name?
Ayo Manor,
Yeah, he went on.
Yeah, and but here's the thing though.
Went off on a Heisman Trophy winner.
But here's the thing though. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, you have those 2 guys in front of you. The guy that was a 5-star plus guy, coming out of high school, won state championships in Texas. Then you got the guy that's been a starting quarterback the past 2 years in college football with the most experience.
Got a battle.
But then you got Deuce Knight here, who's supposed to be the future. Now, let's just say Jackson Arnold has that type of season. Okay, Jackson Arnold's gone to the NFL. This is Ashton Daniels' last year anyway, so he's gone after this year anyway.
Right.
Auburn's gonna have to go in the transfer portal again anyway and go get a quarterback. Even with the quarterback they bringing in the 25 in the 25 class.
You want to start Deuce Knight next year?
You would have to. He would have to be the early starter, because they would still have to go in the transfer portal and go get another quarterback just to have enough bodies on the team. Because right now it's Daniels,
like in the middle of the portal.
Yeah, it's Daniels, it's Jackson Arnold, Deuce Knight, and then John Colvin. But John Colvin's probably not gonna play.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably not gonna play. He's probably a 4th string type guy. He's a 4th string type guy.
Tanner Bailey.
I don't think Tanner Bailey's still with the team. I don't think he with the team.
Oh.
Or at least he's not. At least we didn't. I didn't see him doing, or nobody has seen him doing practices this week. Okay. But the thing is, Auburn's still gonna have to go in the portal, even with bringing in, more than likely Travis Burton's in his class, in his 25 class, if they go after him. And then if they go get Jaden O'Neal, the dude that's committed to Oklahoma right now, if he decommits and if he ends up going to Auburn, but he still got some other schools that he's looking at. Auburn's still gonna have to go in the portal to go get another quarterback. So guess what? We in the same situation again next year. Yeah. Are we in a QB battle next year?
No.
Okay. All right.
So that's the deal. Like you got when you explain it like that. Now, this is why I say I would love for Deuce Knight to be the number 2 quarterback.
Okay.
It's because for everything you just explained, you got Ashton Daniels coming in. He's got the most experience, right?
Experience.
But he's essentially, and I'm not comparing the two, but he's essentially what Peyton Thorne was when you brought him in, right? In terms of floor and like he's a veteran presence. Is what I mean. One may be better than the other, but like this is a project that's already finished. Hopefully we just plug him in for 1 year. If he comes here, he's only got 1 year to play. If Deuce Knight goes,
I agree with you, Jay Flowers. We ain't passing by. We just in a great conversation right now. I'm with you, man.
If Deuce Knight goes through this spring and Ashton Daniels walks on campus, it is the number 2 option at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to I would much rather we never see Ashton Daniels at all.
Wow.
I would much rather Deuce Knight be so close to being a starter quarterback that you have to make him the number 2 quarterback. I want this kid to be so good and look so good in the spring and the fall that you almost are looking for excuses to put him on the field. That's what I want for when Hugh Freeze says if by year 2 you're not the man, this is what I'm talking about. In year 1, you need to be so close to being a starter that by year 2, it's not a question. This is Deuce Knight's team. We've seen what he can do because we've seen him at mop-up duty. He's been the number 2 option. I want to feel like this is what I want to feel like from Deuce Knight. Now, I don't want to curse the young man because we know how this ended up. But I want to feel like when we watched Nick Marshall go out there and Jeremy Johnson would come into games and light it up. How we felt like the future of Auburn football was on our roster. Yeah. That's what I want to feel like this season. I want to feel like the future of Auburn football is already on our roster. We don't have to go recruit nobody in the quarterback room. I want to see it. I want to see it at mop-up duty because, listen, if Ashton Daniels comes in here as the number 2 option and he gets that treatment, it tells us nothing about Deuce Knight.
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
I see where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from with that.
I want him to show undeniable talent to where it's like I want the coaching staff to feel like if Jackson Arnold wasn't here, Deuce Knight would be our starting quarterback.
Well, I think they feel that way now. I think
Ashton Daniels is no slouch. That's why I think that it's good that he's a solid quarterback.
I think they feel that way. I think they feel as if Jackson Arnold, if something were to happen, God forbid, and they had to play Deuce Knight, that it wouldn't be that much of a drop off. That's the feeling I get from what I hear.
The question, I think it comes down to like, who are you willing to lose? Because I'm telling you, I'm only dealing with 3 quarterbacks, not the 5, 6 that y'all talking about. And I can tell you by December, one of those 3 is going to be gone.
Well, 2 of them going to be gone off rip.
Well, I mean, like, yeah. I'm just saying,
but here's the thing.
I think we're going to lose a possible starter. A possible starter in 2026 would be gone by this December.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
right.
Ashton Daniels already gone. His eligibility is going to run out at the end.
Why did he even come over here? Is he?
Well, because he's a graduate transfer. So, but he's from Buford, Georgia. He's from Georgia.
So you can't get
getting close.
Yeah, he's getting closer to home, more than likely.
And he's pretty good. Like I don't think that he's going like when he gets on campus, then you will start hearing some buzz about like this Ashton Daniels kid. I don't think he's coming here I think the plan for the coaches for him, like maybe, I don't know, the roster plan maybe for him to take the third position or second position, but when that kid's coming here to play.
He's not on campus, is he? Now
he was at the practices like.
Oh yeah, he just can't participate.
Yeah, he just can't participate. He was there, but he went back to Stanford because I think he was on spring break, so I think he just came to that practices for a minute.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, but I tell you that decision always that room just shakes a little bit. I mean, you can throw DBs all over the place, but them quarterbacks is like.
But the thing is, Auburn's gonna have to go and get a quarterback out of the portal anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's the reality of it.
For next year?
I mean,
yeah, for next year.
And
so
you almost
because Deuce Knight won't have a backup.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then because right now, if the season were to start right now, if the season were to start right now, you have if the season starts, you'll have Jackson Arnold, Deuce Knight, Ashton Daniels, and then John Cole. All right. Ashton Daniels gone at the end of the year. If Jackson Arnold balls out this year, he's gone. He's going to the NFL draft. That just leaves Deuce Knight and John Colvin. And then whoever Auburn brings in for the 26 class, which more than likely, it seems as if it possibly is going to be Travis Burgess from Georgia. So at that time, you're only going to have 3 quarterbacks in the room.
So I think
you have to go get a 4th one.
I think that every school should bring in a portal quarterback most years. Available to do it, and it when you add experience to a quarterback room, it sets a bar in the room. You set an over and under bar in the room. That's what Ashton Daniels is going to do. He's going to come in here with all that experience, and then are you better? Are you better than Ashton Daniels, or are you not?
I get
you see what I'm saying? It's like, think about Peyton Thorne when he got here. Look at the quarterbacks that were in the room. We all thought maybe Robbie could start, right?
Yeah.
But they went through spring and all that, and they determined that, hey, this transfer that we come in, he's better than Robbie. Right?
I think you'll start seeing a lot more of that with the JUCO people rolling out.
I thought that Alabama was going to get a transfer quarterback for that very reason.
Well, they kind of brought one with him in Austin Mack.
I guess
because he was. I didn't know he's an early qualifying quarterback. He was only like 17 when he went to Washington. I think he's still he's 19 now, I think. But he actually could redshirt. I would do it, but I mean he's really young. But I was thinking like with the JUCO players coming out as freshmen, 19, 20-year-old freshmen coming out. Some people, some apple carts are going to be upset at some universities. Not saying either one of ours, but there's going to be some some Cam Newton types showing up at.
Oh, of course, yeah,
showing up places and just upsetting the whole apple cart. And like, where's this dude come from?
Happened in basketball.
Yeah,
that's what happened to Chad.
Exactly. 25 years old playing college basketball.
Man. 25 years old playing college football is different.
Yes,
he's 25 years old. Like that.
What you mean if Jackson Arnold balls out, he takes players with him? Who goes? Well, I don't think he'd take anybody with him because if he balls out, he's probably going to the NFL draft. That's probably what he's going.
He balls out. You got it. Take him right when the eyes out.
He probably taking Xavier Chaplin with him.
Yeah, if Chaplin. Yeah, that's one that's an interesting one as well too because that brings up the offensive line behind him, the offensive line as well. So that'll be interesting as well too.
Which if Chaplin can go, if we can get Chaplin in the first round, I don't think people know how big that would be for Auburn football to recruit going forward.
Agree. I agree with you there.
How many seniors you got coming back this year? Do y'all know?
It's not a lot. Auburn is a very young team. Auburn is a very young team.
The future of the program is on the roster right now.
Yeah, we are very young as well. I'm trying to see how that even happened. It's like no, I don't, linebackers, senior. I don't know how that's happening now. It's just people disappearing.
Yeah,
portal.
Yeah,
portal.
All right, I'm gonna ask this question before we get up out of here. And this one, low key, is kind of tailored towards tight. So tight.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. This
get my knife. Let me get my knife out.
Right here. If Nick Saban had the Mind Stone, right? He kind of had it. because he kind of.
I was about to say he didn't.
He kind of had it. But you know what, Chance? You can jump in on this one too. You can jump in on this one. If Nick Saban had the Mind Stone at Auburn, and he was the head coach at Auburn in 2007, what does the Auburn program look like now? Does it look like what we saw at Alabama the past 17 years? Or is it a shell of that? Or would Saban have had the longevity at Auburn that he had at Alabama? This is an interesting question. This is a very interesting question.
And he's starting now with this roster, is what you're saying.
No.
When does he take over this job?
He took over the job the same time he took over the Alabama job, 2007.
Okay. He takes over already in 2008.
Mm-hmm. Wow. With the Mind Stone. He got the Mind Stone. Does Auburn's program look like Alabama's program the past 17, 18 years? This is an interesting question.
This is an interesting question. Mind Stone.
I'm gonna say yes.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it looks even better.
Really?
Yeah. I think Nick Saban. Okay. If Nick Saban has the Mind Stone, our only problem is alignment with our boosters. If he can fix that,
he gotta have a Mind Stone.
We have arguably more resources. And I think, I'm biased, of course, but a better fan base for sure. Yeah, I think he could run it up at all. Actually, if he can get the boosters and the powers to be to get out of the way. Yeah.
If was a fifth, we all be drunk right now.
Exactly.
That's true.
I feel you on that one right now.
That's a tall task, man.
It is a tall task. It's a tall task.
Amen. Hey.
You want to answer the question?
Hey, man. Is it my turn? Let me tell you, man. Everybody want to be a beast. Everybody want to be a beast till we figure out what beast got to do. Let me tell you something. This is quoting DC. DC was like, when he looked at it, I think probably after the 09 season or probably going into the 09 season, he was like, man, the fan base is fanatical. But even the power brokers over there, they was doing stuff they probably weren't supposed to be doing anyway to make stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
They was already on board. They just need somebody that could drive. They would have took Shula this far, but Shula couldn't do it. They would have took Dubose and Francione, but they didn't bring that right piece. Now, walking in, do I think y'all going to get 6? No, I put y'all at about 3 because he got to fix a whole bunch of mindsets around there. Mm-hmm. I gave you 3. Because another thing ain't going to happen. We ain't going to sit over there and be like, man, he just went back to back. Mm-hmm. A whole bunch of people about to lose their jobs. Well, ADs. We might go get Pete Carroll. Or I don't know who was the ha at that time. I'm just saying. Would have been the guy. No, yeah, so I'm saying we're going to get Pete Carroll. We cutting salaries of janitors and professors. English? We're gonna do what it takes to get Pete Carroll. Everybody I'm just saying the mindset over there. Because we always said the defensive players kind of never went away since Gene Stallings. The defensive players were around there. Dubose coached some, Shula had some, Coach Kynes. They were kind of there. But there was that perfect storm when you had the tradition and the fanaticism.
Fanaticism.
It came together and somebody knew how to coach. I'm not saying it could have been just, but his work ethic was just he got that out of the earth work ethic. Like I remember the first year this coach he quit and he said, well, he went on to another school and he was like, I'm glad to win my first, college football championship, but he thought about his family, he thought about all this. He said it ain't worth all that. And he left. I don't know where that guy is, but he didn't want to do that. But I just think we kind of Looney Tunes, man. I think they go all out to do anything to win, and they just would have kept firing coaches until somebody would have broke y'all down at about 2, would slowed y'all down at the second championship, and then be able to compete around the third championship to put it in. I'm just saying. I think would have been what I was saying earlier. That focus would have been like, okay, I'm looking over here instead of looking up here now. So we don't never want to be looking over there like that much.
But we also talking about a team type that it's not like we would have been. It's not like he would have been taking over a team that went to two national championships on his watch in terms of talent. He wouldn't. The cupboard wasn't bare.
But that's why I say I'm thinking like, and then his effort would have got you there.
We stumbled to two national. Well, I ain't gonna say stumbled the first one, but like that second one was like a genie in the bottle. Gus showed up on campus. It was like, oh, this works.
I'm not sure y'all have won the championship in that third year either.
Like you just run this 4 times, these 4 plays all game, and I can win.
So that was the thing that shot even Feinbaum. Like,
yeah, he's like, this works. So like, yeah, so
wow.
You know what I'm saying, Nick?
I heard you said
that third year.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't know about that because I mean, that winning that championship in the third year was kind of like that was kind of mind blowing. But you did come back. Like I say, you did come back with Cam, but if Cam on our side of the state, if we throw, I don't know.
Oh my God. Don't do this.
Huh? I'm just saying, hypothetically, you didn't need him or you would have did more with him. I don't know. Does Tebow end up at Alabama? Some crazy would have. I'm just telling you, we not sitting, them dudes up there, they not the money, the powers that be, they not sitting there just be like, oh man, they on the run now, man. Like we Mississippi State or something, you know, we sitting there like, oh man, and somebody sit in the room with you like, man, that's nice. They doing good. Like, man, you fired.
But they was on that path though. It was almost Rich Rod.
Oh,
it really was, but he gave up. He decided to give the job.
He turned it down.
Turned the job down.
I thought Rich Rod would have.
It was divine intervention, man.
His wife didn't want to come to Alabama, did
it? It was something crazy.
Yeah, it was something off. Yeah,
it was something crazy.
I think his wife didn't want to come there. That's a good question though, but yeah, I could say at least half. Y'all 3 or 4.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I'm not.
On top of the two that we won.
No, y'all want to do it. It's Alabama. No, I ain't crazy. No,
so on top of the so if we get 4 and then on top of the 2 that we won,
different program, yeah,
without him, that's 6.
Well, I'm saying I'm just saying with saving. I'm going to have to say y'all get 3 or 4, but I'm taking back the one from Cam.
What?
Because it's my scenario. And the best college football player in the world.
Okay, so in that scenario, then Auburn should get the 2004 national championship. Then.
Yeah. Well, how do when you say you got that in 2007? Now, come on now. Oh, you mean the undefeated year y'all had?
Yeah, the undefeated year.
Yeah, since we playing the if game.
I thought that was bogus anyway. What was that? USC or something? That was bogus.
Yeah,
that was bogus anyway.
Fellas, it's been a great show, man.
Yes, sir.
We can keep going on and on, but we have kept the people too long already.
Oh man.
Tight. Tell them where they can find you at, my guy.
Find me on Facebook and YouTube and Blue Sky sometimes, hanging out at Tight Sports. Please be sure to poke that like button right in the eye so the algorithm knows that we are here doing good things, being very creative and adding something to your evenings. And you can also find me on the Badlands of Twitter, better known as X. But I haven't been to confessional, so I try not to go out there too often because it will singe your sisters, and it's just a lot of depravity going on out there on X. So be careful when you go out there. Thank y'all for having me on tonight.
Always tight. Always, man. We're the Avengers. Make sure you follow tight. Tez, Albert Tez, tell where they can find you at, my guy.
Man, you can find me at It's SC Season on YouTube and on X. I guess we call it now.
I gotta go out there and subscribe.
X, Twitter. I don't know. I don't think the Twitter name is ever gonna die. Like people always call it Twitter, but X. Yeah, you find me there too. Yeah, got content coming soon, and the title of the channel is it's just SC Season. The only reason it says it's on there is because SC season was taken. So.
Oh. Get in where you fit in, brother. Get in where you fit in.
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
But it's SC season, just SC season. So
appreciate y'all, man. As always, man, y'all follow us on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, or you just go to Nicholas Frazier on Facebook and follow us there, because what you see here on YouTube is also going live there as well. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk. Over on Twitter, if you have a Twitter, please follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. Trying to grow our Twitter following over there as well. So follow us on Twitter at CoolersPod23. And of course, subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell button here on YouTube, so you know when we post more videos and when we go live here. Man, we got a lot of stuff that's coming down the pipe. We are trying to grow our following, man. So please share the content. Let them know what we got going on here around the water cooler. As always, man. Shout out to B Sharp. Take that down. I didn't even know.
Shout out to you, B Sharp. Keep it real.
Anyway, make sure you follow the Avengers. Go follow Tez at it's SC season. Follow Tight at Tight Sports Alabama Football Megacast. Go follow B Sharp. He's on his way to 800 subscribers over at the Sharpshooter Squad. Right, Tight, you on your way to 500, right?
That's right, on the way to 500.
Make sure you go follow DC Wolf over at Auburn Addicts. He's on his way to 1,300 subscribers over there on his way over there.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, man. Make sure you go. Make sure you go. All the other Auburn pods out here, man. Locked On, War Report, the Up Tempo podcast, College Loop, all the Auburn guys, man. Make sure y'all go check them out as well, because they're giving you a lot of great Auburn content around in this YouTube sphere of content, man. So please, man, we thank y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always, man. And before we get up out of here, in the words of the young, well, I don't know if he was young, but in the words of one Mr. Thanos, who was able to go out and get all of the Infinity Stones, because tomorrow night we're going to try to collect, we're going to try to get the last one. We're going to try to talk about it. In the words of young Thanos, I am inevitable.